How goes it, YouTube? Today is Sunday for me, but happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. Okay, guys, would you do me a favor? Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get to this video. Okay, guys, in today's video, we're going to be looking at another hoarder video. It's the 10 biggest hoarders in the world. So, of course, like the last video, with the disgusting factors of that house, we're going to see some more about 10 more houses, and they're supposed to be the worst. So let's see if it's worse than that last video, okay? So let's get to this video.
From a couple hoarding over 600 cats to a man who had a rubbish pile bigger than his house, we take a look at 10 of the world's biggest hoarders. Number 10. The Coulier Brothers. In March 1947, a neighbor called the authorities to let them know there was a dead body in the apartment of brothers Homer and Langley. It took the police 2 hours to climb through the boxes and piles of junk, phone books, trash, newspapers, and other miscellaneous stuff. And sadly, indeed, there was a dead body in the midst of all the junk. It belonged to Homer, the elder brother. Langley was nowhere to be found until 3 weeks later when his body was found just 10 feet away from Homer. Number 9. Alexander Kennedy Miller. After Alexander Kennedy Miller's wife died, investigators found a treasure trove in his home. While this is a hoarding case, many are grateful for Miller's collection. It was well known that Miller liked to collect aircrafts and cars, but the extent of his habit wasn't known until 1996. About 50 cars were found, many of them Stutzes, as well as thousands of car parts from engines, shock absorbers, gaskets, radiator caps, just to name a few. Along with cars and planes, the Millers stored away millions in riches, including gold and silver bullion, as well as stocks, shares, and promissory notes. Number 8. Roger Blue. Roger Blue was arrested and charged with 28 counts of animal neglect in what
350 animals? What? Are you trying to raise a farm? What the heck? And it looks like a small... Is that a mobile home? In a mobile home you have freaking that many animals? What is wrong with you, sir? Poor animals.
Iowa's most intense animal hoarding case, as authorities removed over 350 animals, including pigs, rabbits, and ducks. It was reported that there were dead animals mixed in with live animals, from bones to freshly dead carcasses. It's safe to say that sanitation was also an issue, as well as the residents being in shambles. It has been debated as to whether or not this was a hoarding case, although psychologists and authorities declared it to be so after inspecting the property. Number 7. Bettina Grossman. Bettina Grossman is an artist who has been heralded as one who is suffocating in her own greatness. While it is an artistic way to put it, Bettina suffers from a hoarding disorder, with hundreds of boxes stuffed into her 2-bedroom Hotel Chelsea apartment, and her artwork taking up most of the space to the point where she has to sleep on a deck chair. Grossman became a recluse about 30 years ago.
She wasn't that bad. She only had boxes and
much at all.
Artwork.
But she does converse with the neighbors from the hallway. Number 6. Kenneth Epstein. After Epstein inherited his mother's duplex, neighbors began to notice things such as a high volume of junk accumulating in entranceways, as well as foul odors coming from the home. Since 2007, the home was cited for code violations, and finally intervention was necessary. Epstein had so much stuff that he had to crawl over the junk. After removing 60% of said junk, they found the bodies of 9 cats, 33 living cats, and 6 refrigerators full of food that was so decayed and rotten that it had taken on liquid form. Number 5. Jesse and Thelma Gaston. Imagine having a hoarding issue so massive that you were lost in your own junk. That's what happened to 76-year-old Jesse Gaston and his 79-year-old wife, Thelma. Concerned neighbors called the police to their Chicago home after not seeing the couple for some time, and police had to break down the door to their home. Rotting food, piles of trash, and food waste greeted the authorities, and the elderly couple was found literally buried alive under all of the trash. They were then immediately taken to the hospital to be treated for malnutrition, among other health issues. Number 4. Edmond Travis. Edmond Travis became known to the world in 1999 from the BBC show A Life of Grime, which depicted his struggle to maintain his home and his belongings. He was a Polish war veteran who had accumulated years of junk, including rotting clothes, knickknacks, papers, and other random items that stuffed his 5-bedroom home. The television program was thought to have made progress in getting Travis some help, but a follow-up episode in 2001 showed he was back to his old habits and that his home was on the brink of collapse. Travis later died in 2002. Number 3. Grey Gardens. If Edith Bouvet Beale, Little Edie, and Edith Ewing Bouvet Beale, Big Edie, hadn't been cousin and aunt to First Lady Jackie Kennedy, perhaps these two ladies wouldn't have become the famous hoarders that they are today. They lived in an East Hampton mansion known as Grey Gardens. When sanitation workers finally entered their homes, they found junk and clutter everywhere. A baffling total of 300 cats, tin cans, and fecal matter all over the place.
See that house? That mansion, as they said, looked like one of those off of a haunted movie, like House on Haunted Hill. Looks like that house. Or you get lost somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and that house is the only one there. Stay far away because it looked like you probably died in the house. Obviously, they had 300 dang on cats. 300 cats. How do you feed 300 cats? Insane.
These two captivated people so much that a documentary was made about them, called Grey Gardens.
They look crazy.
Since then, they even made a musical about the whole mess. Number 2. Penny and Steve Lefkowitz. This couple managed to make it to the top 3 of the worst animal hoarding cases according to the Humane Society of the United States. They are the owners of the Haven Acres Cat Sanctuary, and on June 7th, were arrested on 47 counts of animal cruelty. Authorities seized 697 cats in total. About 100 of the cats had to be put down because of health complications. Penny and Steve had good intentions, but quickly became overwhelmed by so many residents dropping off their cats and were spending about $33,000 a year trying to maintain the sanctuary. Number 1. Richard Wallace. Richard Wallace had a junk pile that was so massive it was bigger than his house and could be seen from Google Earth. Among the piles of junk included several cars and newspapers, spanning over 34 years. It isn't clear why Wallace accumulated so much stuff in his life, but the public and his neighbors eventually had enough. When he was served with notices and orders to clean up his yard, Wallace stated that it was his human right to hoard all the junk. Eventually, with the help of neighbors, over 30 tons of junk was removed, which is why he has got to be one of
30 tons. Did you hear that? 30 tons. 30 tons of junk trash piled on his front yard that you can see from Google Earth. Insane. There's not enough. I don't understand. How do you get so much junk? How do you accumulate so much items that you feel like all of that means something to accumulate it? Like, and if you haven't noticed, most of the people on here had cats, and they all had an abundance of cats that multiplied, or people that dropped them off. Like that pet sanctuary, they tried to do a good deed, but messed it all over because they took on too much to chew. See, it's not okay. It's not okay. Hoarding is not okay. I feel like if you're gonna, hoard, just don't do it. Keep stuff that's necessity. Keep stuff that you are attached to, that have meaning. Don't just gather like whatever. Say you got a newspaper and you keep all the newspapers just because. You're not going to read them again. They're just going to just pile up and just going to be stacked. Then somebody can actually probably use it later in the future and refer back to them because they're probably being good. Well, I don't know. But the way their houses look, they were not neat, clean, nothing. They were just junk everywhere. I'm still a little traumatized from the video prior to this about this whole hoarder thing. These were actually like a little less abrasive, like, because these were a little on the lighter end. So I don't think they should be the biggest hoarders. They are bigger. They're the biggest hoarders. They weren't the worst hoarders. So yeah, okay. I give it that. I give you that, sir. I give you that. They were pretty big. Okay, so I take it back. So anyway, tell me your thoughts, because I'm rambling. Tell me your thoughts. I really love to hear what you all thought about the biggest hoarders. So yeah, so comment down below. So thank you so much for watching. And as you hear the train, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your evening, rest of your morning, rest of your work day. and have a great weekend or awesome day. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye, you guys.